What's going on, everybody? Friend Films here. Thank you so much for coming back. If you're new here, thanks so much for joining me. I'm really glad to see you. Today, I really wanted to talk about a new lens filter that I got. And filtration is something that I'm happy to finally be getting into. It's something that I've been fascinated by for a while, and I've used it on bigger sets, but I've never really had a set of filters for my own other than kind of the generic variable ND filter that we've all got. But what I want to talk about today is a 4x5 filter that I got from these guys at Prism Lens FX. And it's their brand new one. It is their Dream Effects filter. Now, a lot of the literature around this filter is that it softens up all of that harsh digital look and it blooms out the highlights and it gives you that vintage filmic look. And we'll get to that in a second, but first of all, I want to talk about the filter itself. First thing that you'll notice about the filter is that it's actually incredibly well packaged. They give you this awesome 4x5 case. Got my biz card on the back, and it's Velcro, and the filter just kind of very easily slips out. And there's the filter itself. Now, we'll get into the actual effect of this filter in just a minute. The first thing I noticed is that it really feels very thin. It actually feels kind of fragile. And I know that all of these 4x5 filters are fragile. Obviously, they're glass and they're very, very high quality and very specifically calibrated for certain things. But this one is just a little bit thinner than most other filters that I've used in the past. Now, I'm not suggesting that it's a bad filter. I actually kind of like the fact that it's lightweight. As somebody that does everything himself, I'm a total run and gun, one-man band type shooter. Even something as simple as having a lighter weight filter is very helpful in the long run when it comes to actually making content. So yes, it does feel a little bit more fragile than other filters that I use, but given the circumstances, I don't actually mind it. Something that's pretty dope about the filter though is that they actually etch in the name of the filter to the bottom corner, which is super helpful when it comes to looking through all your filters and trying to figure out which one's which. The other thing that they send you with the lens is probably the world's largest microfiber cloth. I mean, it's great, but it's huge. So now the effect of the filter. First of all, I'm just gonna throw the filter onto the camera right now so you can just see what this looks like versus what it looks like after I put the filter on. So just have to clean it. I have a lot of cats, so we have to be careful with like cat hair and stuff in these filters. It really is a losing battle. I don't know why I insist on always wearing black pants either. It's a non-stop. I actually have a lint roller budget now. So this is what it looks like with the filter actually on. So now you can see the before, which is here, and this is the after. Here are a few sample images that I recorded earlier today. So it is a very subtle filter. It doesn't do too much at the outset, but there are a few instances that I noticed it really does have an effect, and they're pretty specific. This filter works really well with practical lighting. So if you have any lights that are actually in the scene that you're shooting, this filter is going to accentuate them a lot. And also, if you're using light sources with really, really high contrast ratios in the scene, it's gonna be even more pronounced. Something else that I noticed about the filter is that you can't really see the effect of it if you're using indirect light or really soft light sources. It does have that ability to kind of soften up that digital look, but the overall effect of the filter is much less pronounced when you're using indirect, soft, or bounced light on your source. Overall, I would say that this filter really does cut down on that digital look when you record with a mirrorless camera the way that I do, which is, to be honest, a very helpful thing. I actually really enjoy the fact that I don't have to do all the softening or post-processing that I would normally have to do with a digital camera to get that filmic look. I noticed that a lot of my work is starting to push more towards an organic, visceral, filmic look. And that's something that I wanted to accentuate, which is why I got the filter in the first place. What this filter does is essentially gets the image from my head into my camera much more quickly, and it requires less work in post for me to accomplish the style of film that I'm trying to make. And that is the best thing in the world. When a tool is so good that it gets out of the way, that's a tool worth holding on to, and that's exactly what this lens does for me. It's the Dream Effects filter from Prism Lens FX. Thank you so much to Jakob Owens and the rest of his team, as well as all the people over at the Buff Nerds. You guys are great and you make amazing stuff. I can't thank you enough. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you love the video, go ahead and subscribe. Try to make these things as often as possible, and I will see you next time. Peace.